What's going on again, YouTube, this morning? Uh, Zulu Gullah back here again. Share, subscribe, comment. Um, do y'all remember the first stream I done on asking this question to Ebony K. Williams and Black women? Since they want to always reference men are failures because they can't get the relationship they want. So men have to be failures, which is untrue because men and women economically are in the same class at an equal rate, making similar amounts of money. So we're really not failures. What is a failure in this country is either individual or it is part of a system, right? And people who get in power structures, uh, it doesn't become a man or woman thing after that. It becomes either individual or joining Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had an important phone call. Um, so individuals themselves or a collective of individuals within the system that has an agenda can be responsible for a lot of damage they create in society, right? And right now we're being tricked by media, corporations, and a shadow government, right? And Ebony K. Williams and Black women can't seem to understand this just as so much as they can't understand numbers, right? Statistics. You know, I don't understand like when people say that they're educated, particularly women and especially Black women say they're educated. How come they can't make an assessment or analysis and try to base things on what the facts are, what the numbers are, right? Like again, financially attractive men is a myth, and the men uh, that are on their level that they should pair up with is right there in their face statistically, right? Because again, both genders are on par as far as being in the same class. So when you have women who get in high ranking positions, especially Black women, you come to find out that, them bragging about their education, their careers, and their accomplishments um, has nothing to do with anything, especially when you have an example like this woman in the thumbnail, you know, plagiarizing allegations at Harvard, of course. It doesn't surprise me. These Ivy League schools are very, very difficult, to go through, to attend, to go through, uh, and graduate. So she's been doing that the whole time she's been there, faking it till she make it. She got good enough to get in. Like most of your education today is, or from what I've seen, I don't think it has changed the format of just remembering and regurgitating much. Now, this new liberal stuff, this new left stuff that they teach kids now, that's very, very different. A little bit of it started back when I was in school. You talking about the 90s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. So, but all that's all education really is remembering and regurgitating. Like, you know, real wit, real problem solving, real skill and capability comes from experience. It comes from studying a particular field, you know, and very few people can be taskmasters, right? But I just want to know, like, what is it with these women? Like I told y'all a few streams back that there was going to be more, and they're starting to drop like flies. You know what I'm saying? Now, I told people too. Uh, I didn't say this on YouTube, but I told people. I said, black women um, are going to pay for this campaign against black men. Because I talk to women and they're so gender biased, and I try to explain to them, like, stop being gender biased. Like, a lot of things that you went through and experienced, you made those decisions. You did those decisions. It's not always the man's fault. You made those decisions. When they told you y'all can experiment, and telling them to experiment back when I was growing up is now saying my body, my choice, sexual freedom, and stuff like that. And if men can do this and women can do that too, y'all chose to believe that stuff and go out here and do it. And then you get mad and angry and want to finger point at men. Like, no. And then the number one thing is, like, men, we decide what we want just like anybody else. And you can't get mad at us when we decide what we want. And if it's not you, you just can't get mad. Especially if you went out here and you was wild young, you was a 304 or still a 304, and you got a lot of bodies. And it's in men's genetics to reject high body counts. Men want a woman that's kept into themselves, among other things. And these women get mad. They don't understand men. They really don't. And we have these poor examples of women in leadership that shows you what happens when they get in leadership. First and foremost, female nature, regardless of race, is to live off somebody. To be taken care of really means to live off somebody, to be a leech. Like, the true understanding of a helpmate, again, has been lost. Because a woman would say, I want to be a helpmate to you. So that's way better than them saying, I want to be taken care of. I want to be provided for. But they don't understand that, right? So we're dealing with women who aren't really women. They're just females. That's pretty much where we're at right now. They're females and they're confused. Some of them are just downright evil. Now, this is a bad example for black women who claim to be educated. You have a woman attached to an Ivy League school, the highest the highest standard of education in America, Harvard. Harvard. And this is y'all's representation, a copycat. You know, and women do that. Look, I've done a stream where women do sneaky things at jobs, and they'll huddle up and get together, even regardless of race. They'll get a bunch of women together and they'll plot against the men at the job. And HR departments and stuff like it is controlled primarily by women, and they're biased in favor and show favoritism toward women when it's an issue between a man and a woman. You know, and guys at work be oblivious. Me, I was never like it. I was always watching everything go down. So that little sneaky behavior that women naturally do have, and this is why they shouldn't be in positions of leaderships, and they shouldn't be in certain positions in general, because their nature is to be sneaky at times to get something. They're not really the victims that they claim to be in society. I've seen women sneak around to get something. Just as much as they try to claim men do this and men do that. No, y'all do stuff too. And it's being exposed. And right now, black women, y'all got a microscope on y'all. Y'all really do. The bullshit, really, let's be honest, the bullshit is up. This shows you what their education really does. Absolutely shit. This shows you what their leadership skills are. Crap. This shows you that when they get to where they say their goals are, they become power stricken and just like the white men that they complain about. That's it. We ain't gonna hit too much harder on this particular stream. We're gonna come back a little later, here shortly. So don't worry about it. I will be back, man. But this shit is being exposed. See, y'all started with R. Kelly and Bill Cosby. Now it's y'all's turn. You know, it's y'all's turn, and rightfully so. This is what you get, and not just that. The bad statistics that black women suffer in this country that pertain to marriage and divorce, relationships, health, finances, is because y'all have turned on y'all's men and y'all's children and y'all's loyalty to community. And it is going to continue. Y'all are going to be punished. I'm telling you, it's not. Y'all have to have a sit down with God. Y'all have to either go to the Quran or the Bible or just really take an in-depth understanding of natural order and sit down with y'all, amongst yourselves and clear things up with God, nature, and your religions and understand what you have done. The snake came down from the tree and got in y'all's ear. And that's all this information and stuff that y'all get from the greater society is nothing but the snake coming down a tree talking in Eve's ear and y'all listen to it. And y'all suffer the worst because y'all jump off a cliff. This is your boy Zulu Gullah, man. Like, share, subscribe, comment, man. We'll talk in a little bit.